Good afternoon, Sarah. I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit about your gymnast, please.
Okay, I've got a 14-year-old son. He's the middle of 3 boys. He's been involved in gymnastics about 10 years when he's about 4 years old. At the time, he loved it because he was little and got on with it. But as he's got older, things have got worse. He's been recently diagnosed with a few things. He's got ADHD, ASD, which is autistic spectrum disorder, SPD, which is sensory processing disorder, and he also has learning difficulties.
You say recently been diagnosed. Yeah. Did you notice behavioural patterns as he was getting older?
Yes. Sometimes he had difficulty coming to the gym due to his sensory processing. He used to say the lights were flashing, too noisy, didn't like to chalk on his hands. And as he was going around to a high bar, he used to say his ears used to ring. Just little things, really.
What would your recommendations be as a parent to a coach that has a child with difficulties in their session?
Maybe show them a care plan that they've got from school, just so that the coach can see triggers, so that they don't get to that trigger. Or if they see the gymnast sort of getting a little bit edgy or anything, just pull them away and just get them to do something completely different. Just to say, can you go and give me the paperwork from over by there for me to do something, or just to get them away from the situation that they're having trouble with in the first place. It's difficult because each child is individual. I can only go by what my son was like.
Absolutely.
Because somebody else's son could be completely different. He used to have trouble with direction as well. He used to say, this coach would say to me, go over on the high bar, put your gloves and loops on and do this routine. Sometimes he'd go over and then he'd be like, I've forgotten what I've got to do. So he used to go back to the coach. Being as busy as he is, you say, well, why didn't you listen in the first place? So more of a visual thing, I think, would have been better for him.
Some of the feedback we've had from coaches have been that they're fearful that they'll say or do something wrong that could potentially trigger a child's episode. As a mum, is that an issue?
No. As a parent, we're scared. It might have been as a coach. Every day it's a up and down roller coaster. So we get it wrong as well as coaches. As a coach, no. The same as being a club, really, just be transparent, be open. If we're saying something that might be, you don't like, it's not because we're having a go, it's just to adjust it so it's better. It's just to be open, have understanding of the child, understanding of the parents as well. We're bringing the child to a club to have fun, to learn, to be included, to get healthy and fit. We're not criticising them as a coach because they've done something wrong. We just want them to enjoy the sessions.
From a parent's point of view, to another parent that perhaps has a young child that wants to try gymnastics but comes with their own complexities and difficulties, what would your advice be? To have a meeting in the gym with the coach first, to see, without the child being there, just to see if they can adapt the sessions for that child. Because you want your child safe in that gym. If the setting, the coach, everything is available for that child, then do it, because it's a good part for their socialising, it's a good part for their health, their social well-being, because every parent who has a disabled child wants their child to be included in everything. So Seb's gone through some quite difficult times in terms of his gymnastics career. What are some of the highlights for him?
He's gone to British a few times with men's artistic. He did tumbling. Sorry, I'm going to get upset now. Sorry. He's done British gymnastics levels probably 4 times. We went to London and did the British Open, London Open there. And when he did tumbling, he came second in Britain. Sorry.
So he's got a shiny silver medal?
Yes, he has.
Despite his complexities?
Yes. That was due to them changing to tumbling, because obviously it was just too hard for artistic in the end. So we thought, well, let's go to tumbling and try that bit, which he did enjoy. And obviously then came second in Britain, which obviously...
In mainstream tumbling?
Mainstream tumbling, yes.
So there are other options available for gymnasts, and
Yes.
your son's that shining beacon, really,
Yes.
that you can transition into other disciplines.
Yeah, you don't have to stick to artistic. You know, if it gets too hard, then go somewhere else. Not at the club, but as you know, take another field, take another part of it. And he did enjoy the tumbling. It was just it got too much towards the end due to the volume of size of classes. That's obviously what he struggled with then. And obviously having one track in the club was difficult because you had to wait a fair bit of time before everybody else sort of run around after him. He wouldn't like to stand too close. But he did enjoy the tumbling part. He did, fly literally.
Would you recommend gymnastics as a sport for children with difficulties?
It's a good overall sport. For full body sport, then yeah, I think it's pretty good. And if they do have trouble socialising, or if they do have trouble with like team sports, then as it's an individual sport, yeah, no, it does work. Maybe so much competitions can be quite daunting for children. Obviously, Seb, he hated competitions. He did well in them for some reason. He hated doing them, but he did really well in them. But that is a whole different issue again on top of doing your sessions. So not maybe every child that goes through that door will do a competition. And it shouldn't be all striving about success for the club. It should be success for that child and how far that child can go, not how the club can go or how far that coach can go.
Okay, thank you, Sarah.
That's okay. Apologies for the crying.